Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. For those of you who don't know, my name is Samson. And if you're into all things automotive and firearm content, you should definitely consider subscribing. We do it all. We do gun reviews, we do exotic car reviews, we do car meets and builds. And in today's video, we are doing this absolutely beautiful Dodge Challenger Scatpack Shakedown. Now, this particular vehicle is a part of Dodge's last call, which is unfortunately meaning the extinction of a lot of those American V8s. We did a swinger review. We also did a jailbreak review. And in today's video, we are going to do this shakedown review, give you guys a few of the details on it, a few of the features on it, some things that I like, some things I think you'll definitely like. This is one of the 500. So make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this car down in the comment section below. But just like that, let's get into it. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this shakedown is part of that last call. And so this is a special edition. And in my personal opinion, this particular special edition is probably the most muscle car oriented edition that they have. I believe they have 7 going on, but this one gives you all the business. Coming down to the front, you do get that same very square body look that you're accustomed to seeing on a lot of your Dodge Challengers. It's going to be your same 4 halo headlights. You do get a bit of an air intake duct on both of the inside interior running lights, which allows air to come into that motor, help cool it off, help feed that intake for higher performance. You do get an absolutely massive front lip on this car as well. This one right here does still have the yellow protective cover that so many people hate. However, it does look very beautiful with this car. Looking at the front of the car, you do get your RT badge in the front of this massive front bumper. Love the material that they decided to go with this composite. I feel like it really plays off of the gloss black. If they had went with a piano black, I don't think it would have matched all that well. The one thing that I do have this as a sort of letdown on the Scatpacks is that RT badge for your Challengers. On your Chargers, you do get a Scatpack badge, but for your Challengers, they give you an RT, and that can confuse a lot of people, not knowing that the RT does provide significantly less performance than this car. But overall, you guys can see the absolutely massive wide stance that this car has. You do get that wide body kit that we've all come to know and love with this Challenger's Scatpack Shakedown, and overall a very aggressive front end that just looks very mean, and it embodies what a muscle car is, not only in the modern era, but from back in the day as well. Coming up from the front bumper to this massive hood, it is the most unique hood, in my personal opinion, that has been fitted to the Challenger models. A lot of people are going to argue for the Dodge Demon or those 2 nostrils that you see on the Hellcat. However, this hood is absolutely beautiful. You do get your hood pins in the front. The dealer has not yet installed the actual wire that comes up and goes through the pin. However, you do get them in front, which is, if nothing else, as Mopar and as muscle car as you can get. You do get that shaker style intake on the center of the hood. And most of the time, as you guys know, when you see that shaker in the center of that hood, you know that you are more than likely looking at a manual transmission, which this car does have. And it's lovely to see that in 2023, especially when so many cars don't come with manual transmissions and they're trying to take them away. You do get this graphic on the hood that runs up from the hood over the roof down the length of the vehicle, which is unique to this shaker model. It really adds to not only the specialness, but the embodiment of a muscle car that this particular model has over all the other models. Absolutely lovely setup on the hood. And I feel like when it comes down to it, the Shakedown Scatpack probably has the best hood design. Next up, coming to the side of the car, you can see you do still get that very iconic muscle car styling that you are accustomed to seeing with the Dodge Challenger. Love the square body design that this car has. Coming down to the front, you do get these absolutely massive 20-inch rims. And since you do have the wide body kit, you do get a 305 width tire. absolutely beautiful design. They do give you these almost matte black wheels, which one thing I love about Dodge's wheels when it comes to the wheel design is the concavity that they have with their wheel and tire setup. You do get 6-piston Brembo brakes on this Challenger with that red styling. I love the color and all the red that they bounce off of each other just a little bit, just to give you the right type of aesthetics. Coming to the side, instead of getting your usual 392 badge with your Scatpack, you get a 392 sticker. Now, you can like it, you can hate it. I think it looks pretty neat, being that it does have that red outline with the 392. Absolutely beautiful design, and it is a little bit different from what you're accustomed to seeing with some of your standard models of Scatpack. Moving from the front fender area of the Challenger down the side, love the body line that they fitted to the Challenger, bringing it right along the side of the car, raising it up a little bit at the hip. You do get a bit of a protective covering right here at the bottom, a little bit of a plastic material to help you with rock chips and such, and make sure that you don't scratch up your beautiful black paint that you get with this Shakedown model. Coming to the back, you do get that same 20-inch wheel setup with 305 with tires. You do get 305s all the way around, so you get the absolutely maximum level of grip that you can hope for with this wheel and tire setup. Instead of the 6-piston Brembo calipers that you get in the front, you get 4-piston calipers right here in the rear. Same Brembo setup, same red coloring. Absolutely beautiful design. Coming along to the rear of the Shakedown, a lot of your features on all of these Challenger Scatpack and Charger Scatpack models are going to be similar. For me, the major change comes at the front. However, you do get some subtle changes to the rear as well. You still get that very beautiful graphic that goes down from the front of the car all the way down to the back. Very, very nice, very slightly sloping wing on the back of this car. Not too aggressive, not too obnoxious, but just the right amount to fit the car the way it should. On some of your Challenger models, you do get a bit of a drop down section on the edge of this wing, but with this one, you just get just the wing. You don't get that extra lip here like you would with a lot of your other models, like I believe you do on the Hellcat and the Demon. Coming around to this side, you do get your Shakedown sticker, which is unique to the Shakedown, very different from the Scatpack sticker that you're accustomed to seeing on a lot of your other Scatpack models. You do still get those rectangular tail lights with the Challenger models like you are accustomed to seeing, and I wish Dodge would have went with a blacked out design for their script instead of going with this chrome design. However, still looks very nice. You do get the piano black on the trunk lid where all the lighting is, as well as a backup camera in your actual spoiler. Coming down from the rest of the Challenger stuff to this rear bumper, you do still get a very, very basic rear bumper with this Challenger model. You do get your rear diffuser, which is made out of a composite material, dual exhaust tips, rectangular exhaust tips. In my personal opinion, I think the Challengers look better when they have regular circular exhaust tips coming out of the back instead of these rectangular ones. However, overall, a very simplistic setup to the rear of this car, similar to what you see in your other Scatpack models. But how about we go ahead, we take a look at what's under the hood powering this beautiful Challenger Scatpack Shakedown. All right, guys, taking a look up under the hood of this Dodge Challenger Scatpack Shakedown. Now, this is going to be your same powertrain that you get for all your other Scatpacks. It's going to be that same 392 cubic inch. If you're looking to convert it to something else, 6.4 liter Hemi V8, pushing out right around 485 horsepower, 475 pound-feet of torque. Now, the special thing about this Shakedown is that it is mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. So not only do you have the ability to shift your own gears, grind your own gears, but you also save a little bit of weight with that 6-speed manual instead of that clunky automatic transmission. You're looking at anywhere between 3,800 pounds to 4,400 pounds for your Challenger models. However, you can see, we can get a better look at those hood pins as well as that beautiful last call badge up there at the front of this hood. Now, the special thing about this particular motor is that beautiful shaker on top of this Hemi engine. Now, it does prevent you from being able to see the motor a little bit. However, nonetheless, it is a work of art. Love not only the cold air intake that they have, but just the overall setup that this car has to it as far as the engine base goes. Just a big brawny V8 shoved into this car. Love how the hood actually has the shaker script written on the hood itself. So in case you forgot, looking at this big old intake right here poking through the hood, they do remind you with that script. Overall, very beautiful engine bay. But how about we go take a look on the inside, show you guys what the interior of this Dodge Challenger Shakedown is all about. All right, guys, getting into the interior of this Shakedown, the very first thing that you notice is the gauge cluster. You do not get your traditional gauges that you're accustomed to seeing with a lot of your Scatpack models. You do get these white gauges that you may see in a Demon, for instance. Very, very beautiful setup, and love the way that the white offsets absolutely everything else in this interior. You do have a digital gauge in the center. Those white gauges are analog, one on each side. You do get 180 on the dash. The center gauge does tell you a little bit more configurable stuff about the car, like your tire pressure, your oil pressure, your range, your drive modes, various other things that you would love to see out of this car. And when it comes to the dash, everything is carbon fiber. You get carbon on the area where your gauge cluster is and your infotainment system, as well as your center console area. And if you are able to option it with carbon, I would definitely recommend it. Not only is that going to make the value of this car skyrocket depending on how long you keep it, but it looks absolutely amazing, and it keeps the car weight down just a little bit. Coming from this center gauge cluster area to the steering wheel, our attention is focused to this absolutely beautiful leather wrapped steering wheel. You don't get any carbon on the steering wheel, however, you do get fully leather wrapped with the red stitching. You also get buttons for your cruise control settings, as well as your buttons for controlling what's in your center gauge cluster, that configurable area. The one thing that I don't like about the steering wheel is that it does have 3 blanks on the right side of it, whereas you don't like to see blanks in a car that is going to be a price tag of right around $60,000 or more. However, this one does come with blanks. Unfortunately, that's just the reality of it. Nonetheless, it does look absolutely amazing. Coming to the center, you do have all your climate control, your AC. It does have dual climate control, so you can have the passenger warm while the driver's hot and vice versa. You also get buttons for your launch control and your drive modes and traction control off, whatever you may need. Coming up to your actual infotainment system, you do have, of course, access to your radio, but you also can access things like your performance pages or even your climate control, seat settings, whatever the case may be. You can access everything through this infotainment system. It is very responsive. Absolutely love Dodge's new system with this infotainment. Coming back to the center, you do get that oh so lovely tried and true manual transmission. Very, very buttery smooth, going right into gear like a champ. Beautiful setup on this car. Love the ball setup that they have to it and the stitching on the shift boot. You do get your 2 cup holders along with a little bit of space right here in the center console area with your USB ports, your aux port, and of course your actual cigarette lighter. Very soft touch material on the center console. Bringing it to the passenger side, let's go to the dash. Overall, the dash does have soft touch material. It's all leather wrapped. Dodge has really stepped it up over the years with their interior quality. You do get that very, very also unique to this car shakedown badge right there in front of the passenger. So in case you forgot, in case they forgot, you can look right at it, know that you got something just a little bit more special than everything else that everybody has out there. Coming to the door panel, absolutely beautiful, almost fully leather wrapped door panel. You do have a little bit of plastic on the bottom of the door where people's feet might be. You also have a cup holder, but overall, very nice setup to this door panel. It does come with an Alpine sound system, and so Dodge does try to give you a little bit more enjoyment than the competition when it comes to actually having fun in here, listening to music as well. From the door panel to the seats, you do get these beautiful suede inserted seats with leather on the outside, heavily bolstered. They are not too bolstered that you won't be able to fit in them comfortably. I've been sitting in these seats for a while, and I can tell you they are absolutely comfortable. To me, you do get your Scatpack logo embossed into the seats, as well as this perforated Alcantara. Very, very, very beautiful setup. You do get a suede roof as well, which you may not be used to seeing with some of your Dodge Challengers. You do get those suede A-pillars, and overall a very nice setup to this front cabin area. All right, for you guys, I'm gonna do something that I usually don't do, but I'm going to try to show you some of the rear seat action that this car has. Now, if I sit all the way back, you probably won't be able to see me. However, this is the rear seat of the Dodge Challenger Shakedown. And I gotta be honest, from a actual height and depth perspective, it is not that bad. It is actually very, very roomy, very, very, I guess you could say comfortable. However, if you were to try to put the seat back, the seat is in its furthest forward setting, and even with it back, my knees are hitting the seat. And so even if somebody tried to go in, and this is with my feet all the way back as far as I could go, and my body all the way back, even if somebody tried to go in and actually put the seat back so they could actually drive, I couldn't fit in here. So the rear seats are a little bit cramped. However, you do get the same attention to detail as far as materials go with that suede insert, leather wrapping everywhere else. You do get 2 cup holders here in the rear, but overall, very, very nice setup. One of the things that I didn't highlight that I feel like is very, very needed to be highlighted is these red seat belts that this car has. Very, very lovely anytime you see anything other than black or gray seat belts on a car. But overall, very nice feel to this interior, and the rear seats also have a very nice aesthetic as well. And just like that, guys, that is a full review of this 1 of 500 Dodge Challenger Scatpack Shakedown. It is a mouthful to say, but overall, a very, very beautiful car and unique car. If you guys have the ability to get one, I definitely suggest that you do. These cars are going to skyrocket in value, especially here over the next few years. This one right here going for right around, I believe, $70,000. So not extreme on the price range as far as the 2023 model goes. However, nonetheless, if you guys have the ability to, you should definitely look at getting one. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. If you'd like to see more content, you guys have been loving the Mopar content, and I'm going to bring it to you. We also do some actual exotics like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches, that type of thing. But since you guys love the Mopar content, I'm going to keep bringing it to you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And just like that, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.